Alright, so today I'm going to be going and fixing a few bugs and generally just making some improvements and polishing up our bound level. So, first up, noticing that this initial restart takes a lot longer than I would like. And the other restarts, where they're not actually restarting the entire level, they go a lot faster, and I want to make it more like those. So, okay, so in order to do that, we're going to need to make... Alright, we're going to make a trigger set that is... Create a starting area triggers. Okay, set, and we need to make this its own set so that we can set it. So you can make it an all set, and then so when we restart, we're going to need to get rid of these triggers. We've got a timer as one of our triggers, and when we restart, we need to get rid of that We need to get rid of that timer and make a new one. So in this set, we're going to have open door 1, and we're going to need a new trigger that is a new trigger that's going to fail when the player dies. So this gets reset, but only if the player dies in the starting area. So that trigger is going to look a lot like our old HQ loss trigger. Open up HQ loss here. We got our don't die trigger that goes off in a particular area and makes us lose. So this isn't going to make us lose anymore, and we're going to trigger is failure. So when we trigger this trigger, that should end our all set, because like it can only succeed if they all succeed. So if any of them fail, it should end our all set. And we have a new map action. Is what I call that. Make a recreate area. Oh no, wait, this isn't a trigger. Cancel. I need a map action. That is recreate starting area triggers. Trigger set. There we go. That will be a create trigger set, because we're remaking more than one trigger. And what trigger set are we going to make? Starting area triggers. Makes a lot of sense. So when our HQ loss trigger activates, we're going to want to recreate our starting area trigger set. Oh wait, not on triggered. How do I do something on failure? Hey Micah, how do I trigger a map action on failure?
Timeout. Or like you can just set.
Will timeout happen? So I have, when the player's HQ dies, I need to reset the set of triggers that takes care of the opening area. So when the HQ dies, I guess I could make another trigger that triggers on the same thing and have that one be the one.
The way you could do this is you put it inside of a set, and then you make failure success, and when it is success, it goes to the next one in the sequence, and that sequence resets the thing. So there's like a rule on this, which is like you can set.
I did the trigger is failure, and I put it in this set, so that way when the HQ loss triggers, this set fails, open door 1 gets closed. But then I think I need another trigger in here that treats it as a success, or because I can't invert it at this level.
Okay.
I guess I could make an any set and then have open door success be actually a failure, and then
No, it would be an all, and then the failure case. Wait, so you're wanting to call something on failure case?
right, because I need to recreate this trigger set when the trigger set fails.
Okay.
So I'm thinking what I need to do is make a second trigger that is HQ loss. It is the same as HQ loss, but its success is a success instead of a failure, so that it can trigger map actions. Alright, because this trigger isn't going to execute. Which I assume triggered map actions aren't going to happen
on a failed set.
On a failure. Or will it? If is trigger failure, then then triggered map actions won't trigger.
It takes a while. So
okay. So I think I need a copy of this that does the restarting, so that it can have a copy of this, but without the inversion, without the trigger failure. So that way, that one can succeed, recreate the trigger set. This one can fail and end the set, and they'll both be triggered by the same thing. So I'm going to try that.
Yes.
We've got
HQ
loss
I would just make
negative.
I mean, they both fire at the same time.
And then copy HQ loss positive. And we take the positive one. Is trigger failure is false. Don't show that objective. And then we can trigger our map action of, where is it? Recreate starting area trigger set. Start area triggering set, we add where'd it go? Negative, oh, that's positive. And this is the one that restarts the set. It might need to happen first, actually, because the negative one is going to end the set. So I need to have the positive.
So the order of those is that of when they will trigger is non-deterministic. Like, I don't know which one will go first.
Okay. So, wait.
So that's going to be... that's weird, because it will call cleanup on the whole set immediately when one or the other triggers. So just make the loss case a success, and then make the one that does the resetting a failure, so it doesn't terminate the whole thing, but it terminates one of them. So you want two triggers to trigger at the same time, basically. Right.
Yeah, I need two triggers to trigger at once.
That's a little bit weird. And a way you could do this is you just make a second, or you make one thing that just sets a variable or whatever, and then you look at that variable.
Well, then I have to reset the variable also at some point.
Yeah, which is kind of annoying.
Can't really make this a sequence because the open door needs to be on at all times. Okay, I could make this an any and have success.
Any you can have, as soon as one succeeds, they all succeed.
Right. So then any, the HQ loss positive is the success. It ends the set. Open door. Yeah, any should work.
Yeah, sure.
Any should work. Oh yeah, and then if open door triggers it, it doesn't, then this trigger is gone forever.
Yes. Because then it would fail that set.
Okay, so as long as I make my open door trigger...
It would succeed the set. Open door is the positive.
So if I take my...
The other two are negatives.
Well, no. There's an HQ loss is also a positive.
Oh.
It's just a positive that happens to...
Recreate itself.
Yeah. So it's a positive that happens to recreate itself.
That makes sense.
And there is no negative. There is no negative end. It just ends in a way that restarts itself, or it ends in a way that doesn't restart itself.
Yeah, it works.
So that's an any. Okay, so make this an any set. HQ loss positive is now the only one that needs to exist. And open door needs to do reach checkpoint 1. So now we actually have two things to do that, but that's fine. I can go clean up the other one, maybe. Yeah, having there be two different ways to reach the checkpoint is fine. So then, yeah, if you complete the section and then you die, you'll still, if you hold it for long enough and then you die, it'll still bump you forward to the next checkpoint. Okay, now back here. On the HQ loss, we're actually going to do quite a number of things on our... Okay, let's delete HQ loss negative, since we're not using it anymore, just so we don't confuse ourselves. HQ loss positive. You're going to be restarting the set, but you're also going to be resetting... Recreate starting area trigger set. You're going to be doing that, but you're also going to be resetting some state. Because we need to restart the barrage that the AI is doing to us. So we're going to need another map action that does that. Make another map action that is restart player push deck. And that's going to be an AI on insert card. We're going to be AI set deck. So we're going to be targeting player 1. Defaults to player 2 because there's normally an AI on player 1. And we're just going to replace its deck with the deck that it already has. Skipping the current deck, skipping the current card. And that way, hopefully, it will restart the whole barrage at second 0. Deck. Let's have that happen first. Okay, so that replaces the deck, recreates the triggers, and we're also going to want to reset the map. Oh, and we're going to need a new respawn so that we can respawn checkpoint 0, because now we have a checkpoint 0. So go to our map actions, go to respawn checkpoint 1, copy of that, respawn checkpoint 0. Reset map and respawn checkpoint 0. So now checkpoint 0, what is that going to do? Copy. Paste. Just going to put that right back where I came from. So we restart the deck, we remake the triggers. Actually, let's restart the deck, recreate the map, restart the triggers, map, respawn the player, then recreate the triggers. We want to make the triggers last so they don't get triggered by any of the other things that we're doing. Yeah, because that would just be a mess. All right. Now we haven't actually changed the map yet, so all of our old restart code, well, our old restart copy paste should still be good to go. Oh, right, I need to actually change on startup. Instead of doing HQ loss negative, we're gonna do... Oh, right. This is a set. So we're just gonna go over here. Startup, we're gonna have starting area triggers. And I believe no more... Oh wait, we go to opening door triggers. I think we don't need that anymore. Because opening door triggers, we got starting area triggers. That's one of the starting area triggers, so opening door triggers, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Our starting area, so okay, starting area trigger is that will start the open door and have our HQ loss positive, and if that HQ loss occurs, then we do all of our restart stuff. Okay, let's try this out. Okay, so now if I just don't do anything and get pushed into a wall and die. Do. Oh, okay, we got some kind of loop going on. That's no good. Okay, so I think something is happening in the wrong order here. Shows positive. Any succeeds the set. Okay, so HQ is positive. Let's just turn that on. Debugging. So this gets triggered when an HQ is destroyed. But when we reset map... Oh, okay, well, okay. It potentially lost its location. I'm not sure if that gets preserved properly with making copies. So let's just set that, well, clear, and set that, and then let's just test that. Let's see what bashing into a wall does to us now. Not ideal. Do we need a slight delay or something? Okay, let's open door 1. Make sure we're not doing anything silly here. Checkpoint 1. This shouldn't be going off. It has this delay. And when our trigger set succeeds, that hopefully shouldn't be happening. Okay, but for the moment, I could get rid of it just to simplify things a bit. HQ was destroyed. Okay, so when the HQ is destroyed, start doing all of these things. This, I believe creating the new trigger waits until next frame, so it shouldn't be being triggered by the HQ destruction that we do in resetting the map and respawning. But when we reset, we're killing another HQ that's in a different place. So that shouldn't matter. Okay, first up, I'm just gonna take door 1 out of here, just to simplify things a little. And just make absolutely sure that it's just in this location. Okay, it certainly seems to be triggering itself. Which, I'm not sure how. Oh no, indeed, Bite. Oh no, indeed. Supposed to do this thing fails. Okay, so I think we'd like this to fail before any of these things happen. So we can put these off a little. Make another trigger set that gets pushed. And have that trigger set do all the actual resetting. So that way our current set fails, then the new set comes into existence. Then the new trigger comes into existence and executes all of this stuff. Does that work? Let's see. Do these should be happening in order, I think. Like, in theory, we should be creating the trigger set after all of this. So, what if these are actually getting executed in opposite order? Of what I'm thinking they are? Yeah, my list could be upside down from what I'm imagining it. Nope, that didn't make a difference. Okay. So wait, what was the trigger for this again? HQ positive. It's an HQ being destroyed in that particular area. I really don't see how that would be happening more than once. I might need to check this out in the debugger. This is a little funky. What's happening here? Okay, so I went, instead of doing, well, okay, so I guess for the moment I'll just add losing. Make that the first thing that we do, just for testing for the moment. I'll have to go back and debug what was going on there. 'Cause that, I'm pretty sure that should have worked. Oh, great, it's still doing that. Okay. I should restart the level at some point. Okay. So, for testing purposes, I'm just going to take our HQ loss trigger. It is it's just gonna make you lose. That's, yeah, just gonna be for testing until I can go back and bug fix and figure out if that was if I was making a mistake about something. Or if that's just, if I had like a logical mistake, or whether we have like a code mistake in there somewhere. Okay, so we got that working well enough. We'll get back to that. Now, other than that, I wanted to add some dialogue to our checkpoints. Wait. When you reach checkpoint 1. Right. Checkpoint 1. Reached. Just to remind the player that they have made some progress. Reached. This is final. Final challenge, because that's the last checkpoint. And then for winning, when you reach the exit, alright, we have a win action for that. Win. Made it. Good job. I think victory is a fine term for what's happening there. That, and then I wanted to give the player the ability to inspect. There's no particular reason they shouldn't be able to view stats. There's nothing for them to rotate. They can't demolish because it could mess up a lot of our level setup. But there's no reason they shouldn't be able to look at things. I'll bug test that to make sure that things aren't exploding too much. Alright, on top of that, in playtesting, I saw that, right, it was, yeah, Lime's HQs were killable. Which is interesting. They have, okay, Lime action modifiers. Does Lime actually have Lime action modifiers? No! That would be an issue. Unkillable HQ. Killable HQ. That should definitely get the job done. Let's see. We got that player. You're red. Or red player action modifiers. You're also unkillable. Yellow. You're unkillable. Orange. You're unkillable. Lime. You're unkillable. Now, does everybody have their appropriate action modifiers? Red does. Lime does. Orange does. Alright, great. So that should handle our HQs getting killed. Uncapturable barricades. This was... it's killing people a little bit too fast. I'll bump that down to 0.75. Give the player just a little extra time to escape their inevitable doom. Alright, so let's test that out. So if I go and bash myself, 2, 3, 4. Okay, nice. We got the one extra hit that I wanted people to have. Alright, now let's try out Inspect. Let's see if that... alright, I can see that these barricades have an infinity health, and these HQs have infinity health, and these turrets have infinity health, and do 1 billion damage. Ooh. And we can see that these, if I go to inspect, we can see that these turrets are like normal turrets with reasonable numbers. Now our surgers are pretty similar to normal surgers as well. Alright. Cool. Alright, so that was all. Oh, right, I also wanted to, as long as I'm here, I also wanted to just set up a little something for the player to find at the end here. So we're just going to have one more relay. So the whole thing can be powered. Boop. Build some walls. I'm just gonna have a bunch of friendly triplexes. Wires. Triplex. Just hopefully give them a nice place. Ah, cool. Came out even. Do-do-do. Hopefully just make the end of the level here look a little more inviting. Alright, so with that, I need to set back up my restart. Because I gotta delete that. Set up my reset map. Copy. Everything. Paste. Paste where? Everywhere. Oh, let's go try that out. Try and get to the first checkpoint so we can make sure our checkpoint dialogues are triggering nicely. And then, oh, forgot to put the HQ back on the map. That's kind of important. Set an HQ here. Platform under them. And you know, you still die. It can be very easy to end up getting hit by multiple things. So I think I'm gonna make my. I think I'm actually gonna drop this all the way down to 0.5. So you have like a few hits. In testing, this mission was significantly too hard. Well, this opening bit was significantly too hard. The rest of it is alright. Yeah, so if I go and ram myself into this wall, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huh, that made less of a difference than I would have expected. Ah, I was hitting 2 of them, but the damage should work out about the same. Oh no! This should be... Yeah, that's a mistake you can recover from now. Excellent. So you still gotta be careful not to make a lot of mistakes in a row. But now you can get away with a little bit. Now I, of course, know how these waves are set up. But I have forgotten, apparently, because I still put myself in a bad place. There we go. And you can now pull yourself out of it as long as you're pretty quick on the draw, rather than having to be instantaneous on the draw like you had to be before. But yeah, never be afraid to just, like, effectively double the player's health or something like that. Big changes. Big changes are the best changes. Oh, did I lose my success? Oh, no, it happened. Okay. Oh, yeah, also at this point, I should now have reached this checkpoint. Oh, but I still died in the zone. That's difficult. Okay, I can add a requirement to that restart condition that you have to be on checkpoint 0. So if a checkpoint has happened, that won't happen. Just like I did with all the other checkpoints. So, HQ loss. Lose. Right. I guess we'll just modify lose. That's fine. I'm gonna go to our lose. Add a condition. Checkpoint 0. Alright. Starting area triggers. Sets that. HQ lost positive. Oh, are we not starting open door anymore? Start up. Right, starting new triggers. Right, I do still need open door 1. See, whichever of these happens first, I should get rid of the other one. Oh, that also solves the problem. Alright. Get me out of there. Okay. Dodged. And oh no. Did I dodge too hard? Oh no, I dodged way too hard. Okay. Oh, why did I do this? I've made terrible mistakes. Okay. But with my new and reduced difficulty settings, you can make some mistakes, and that's okay. So now all that's happened. I didn't see a dialogue. But my checkpoint worked. Okay, so why didn't I get a dialogue on that? Like, I clearly reached checkpoint 1. So why didn't I see a reach checkpoint 1 dialogue? Yeah, reach checkpoint 1. Oh wait, that's just this bit. The trigger. Oh, we have this thing. Wait, does it not have a dialogue? I thought I had added dialogues to these. Did I do something silly and put them somewhere else? I could have sworn I added some text here. Huh. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we got that. Reach checkpoint 1. There's that. But as an additional, but right for the moment, right now, this is the trigger that's going off for reaching checkpoint 1. So this thing's trigger dialogue should be that. All right, one more test, and then I can go fix that bug. Hopefully get the restart code working as I showed you earlier. And then this should be good to go. You can always come back and tweak it more as time permits. Even once I put it on the workshop, I can go and update it, put out new versions, all that good stuff. Dodge! Yeah, right about the 30-second mark. That should be about when the big wave appears. So I just dodge right under that before the new big wave appears. And I get myself back into the middle of the map so I can react to stuff. And just fight them. Oh no. I fought too hard. Get me out of there. Get it. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. This chaotic section is still pretty fun. Checkpoint 1 reached. Fight 'em! Oh, right, I have, 2 triggers for that now. Which is just grand. go! Now I have checkpoints. I don't need to care about my life. Run! Ooh. Checkpoint 2 reached. Get me out of there. Alright. Now I can go and make bad choices. Bam! Killed immediately. That is a bit of a silly way of doing things, but I've done it now. It's just how it be. Alright. So that's it for now. This level is, yeah, good enough for the moment. I think it's pretty neat. And yeah, I'm gonna go see if I can figure out what's going on with that trigger set reversing on itself. And assuming that's just like a bug that I can fix in code, then the level will be done. If not, I'll come back for one more little video and show whatever changes needed to be made to get that to work. Alright. Thanks for watching.